Hey, but see, I'm looking out.
Facts, no.
Because somebody else would be out here having you looking down bad.
Facts, straight Michelin.
Not me.
I'm good on that. I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm straight Michelin, bro. You look out for
trimester.
me. Don't have. Oh, Jay, how you feeling? You couldn't start 1 or 2. You know they start.
I wouldn't even.
Nah, bro.
I'm talking about.
No, bro. Like at this point in our relationship, bro.
No.
I need you to shoot straight, so at least I can hold you accountable for when you're wrong. No. You ain't got to stay out of this, bro.
So, I rejected even when you said the Michelin boy. Nobody even know what we talking about. Let's transition on.
No. That's not what we gonna do. We gonna be a family first, and we just had some stuff the family need to make straight. Okay.
Right, but I'm saying, but we ain't got to put other folk in family business.
It is what it is.
Didn't we just talk about him being emotional?
Yeah.
Or sensitive?
He said he was sensitive.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My man.
So we wasn't putting people in family business. What is happening on this show?
Honey.
So Mike's business is cool,
That's
but everybody, Tracy can't laugh at my joke?
I'm on another level. 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 I'm on another level.
Of all of our people in South Africa, they're so used to hearing from me. They're so used to me speaking. So, like, I think our annual conference, it would be good. Probably that'd be a thing we do annually. Almost like the State of the Union, with the movement we have in South Africa. For those of y'all that don't know, our podcast listeners, our next levelers all across the country, like we got an official full nonprofit organization in Cape Town, South Africa, and a ministry. It's a whole movement. So at any day, at any moment, you're going to see somebody around Cape Town and probably Johannesburg rocking Next Level Living.
It's tough.
Yeah. And so to have Tracy there, when you signed off on the 40 kids to go to college, I was like, oh, praise God. Because I ain't gonna front. Matter of fact, when we first talked about it, you wasn't full in the spirit. I was like, let's do 10 kids. Let's sponsor 10 kids for college. She was like, how about 3? And when she started talking with her hands, I was just like, all right. I called Gavin. I was like, yo, G. So what's up, my man? I said, G, let's maybe start with we're going to do 3. We'll find some spots. We'll do 10. And then we decided to go further.
Yeah. So 40. But yes, it is a rare occasion that you'll see me on camera. For sure. Very rare.
But y'all gonna see, hey, this is what y'all need. I need y'all, if y'all give comments, I ain't gonna lie. If they write into the show, you know what I'm saying? If they give comments, y'all comment on the page that y'all really felt Tracy, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe on YouTube, give them little comments. That might move the needle, Crystal. I ain't gonna lie.
True.
We give the people what they want. You feel me?
Because I know she got a lot to say. She just be like, let me just keep it to myself for now, but I want to hear some of that.
I'm not going to say Tracy has a lot to say. I just think that everything she says is important. Like, when the people that don't speak often, so every time they say something, they mean something when they talk.
It's profound, yeah.
Like, not Jeremy. I'll just use myself, for example.
Well, you can use me.
When we talk, bro, we fillers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love people.
Yeah.
So we going to gas you up. We going to juice it up.
Hold on.
Not me.
What did I tell at that picture that Mike looked like in that picture?
This ain't the time, Jay. Oh, no, we're not doing that.
Time.
Oh, we ain't doing that.
That was a good comment. Who did I say that he looked like?
The dude from Power?
Omari Hardwick?
Omari Hardwick.
Right. She ain't no way you said that.
Who was it?
Omari Hardwick.
She said I look like Ghost?
Bro, when she said that, I was just like...
I said, tell Mike right now.
Bro,
yeah.
When she say that, Tracy, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to have to graduate about them 7s, big dog. Okay? Mike Moore's going to have to turn his tassels from a 7 to an 8.5, big dog.
8.
Listen.
You stupid.
Oh, I'm about to get rid of this belly fat. Y'all wild. If I got ghosts anywhere in my system.
Amari.
I'm not.
I remember that.
Oh, I'm not going.
I remember. That ain't no cap.
No cap.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it was either him or
Forrest I ain't taking this Tupperware to the kingdom with me then. Say let.
You said who?
Not Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
What? Okay, while we laughing, let me tell you the shade. Jay, why would you do that?
He took it back.
Jay,
I just repeated it
Which
because I wasn't quite understanding.
I said not Forrest Whitaker.
She said Omari, and then he went to saying
He said not Forrest Whitaker.
This dude said I had a glass
she was
eye,
like,
man. This dude tripping,
For one,
bro.
Forrest is the OG. All right, so seriously.
He is.
Tracy on,
Wait.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you just gonna switch back that quick, just like that?
Because our people, I don't want them to feel like we only goof. I promise y'all, we gonna go real deep. We gonna drop some gems.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I'm
just
saying?
let them know. We have a good time.
you know what I'm saying?
You went from Ghost
But
to
don't
Forrest Whitaker?
ignore the shade that Jay
I
just
like
took
your
away.
hat, though.
The
No
best
cap.
compliment I've ever heard.
Let me
Thank
get
you,
the front.
sis.
Let me get the front pour.
And replaced it
hat.
with Forrest Whitaker.
Don't take away the fact that he got.
Okay.
Now I look like.
Fire.
Never
You
mind.
can put it to the back.
I mean, your head's small,
With your perfectly shaped head. So perfectly shaped head,
His
dog.
head is too small, remember?
Nope. Nope.
He don't remember because it never happened. Like, y'all, I'm sensitive. Like, y'all not about to do that.
He
Like,
said his head's so small, he got to wear his hat to the back.
Chris is savage. She said,
wait,
y'all ain't loyal.
oh, wait.
Y'all ain't loyal.
Wait. All right, so if you make me explain this to these people, like for real,
let me tell you something. What Michelle Obama said, bro. When they go low,
You go high.
Tiger King, like you ain't about to. Like listen to me. I'm gonna meet you.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet you where you at. Like you
Okay.
ain't. No.
You gonna go all the way petty. Even though it's a
she
leopard
just talking
print.
about my head. She talking my head. No,
What you said, that's all.
right? Like yeah.
That's hilarious.
Y'all not about to play with me. Like,
But I'm here though today.
thank you, Tracy.
So
Thank
forget
you.
all the jokes about
So
you
let's
here.
make it a special episode.
There we go.
Yes, I'm
There it
ready
is.
to answer any and all questions.
Perfect.
All right.
So, Chris, I don't know about you, but I know most people out there just don't know the history behind next level living. Like, and I've seen the growth from the start process, but there are intricate details that I don't even know. Like, can y'all just take us from how long this journey has been and how crazy it is how crazy the road has been for y'all, and where did y'all just start from? Like, tell me, like, where to start? Where did Jeremy meet Tracy? Like, where did this process begin?
So I met Tracy Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at Enterprise, and I was a manager. I was one of the assistant managers.
I do remember that.
And she was at a different location. And Enterprise kind of had the culture like every individual store operated as a separate entity. But if you had a certain branch and we ran out of cars, I could call you as from manager to manager. I'll send somebody to come and get the keys, and we would come and get those cars, vice versa. Typically in the car rental industry, if you were a manager, you never gave up your good cars. You would always give the lower tier cars like the Corollas or something that wasn't. You ain't gonna give up no Mercedes, no SUVs,
Gotcha.
no Tahoes. You ain't none of that.
That's your bread and butter.
Right.
Gotcha,
You're gonna
okay.
get the ones that need an oil change, the ones that's been smoked in. Facts. Like that's just how it is.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
grimy.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Okay.
disrespect, but they not expecting to get the best cars.
Oh, got you. Okay.
They send this chick. She come in, bruh. I promise you, it's like she walked in. It's like the wind blew. Stacks on deck,
Hey.
patrol on ice. You can have whatever instantly, bro. I'm thinking like, man, she freaking gorgeous. And so I remember I gave you two. You remember? I gave you two. It was like two Mercedes. It was like
I don't remember that, but
yeah, it
you
was
did
like
give up
yep.
some good cars.
All right, well, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But I gave two, you know what I'm saying, really luxury, and then some other ones, something I normally wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And tried to, you know what I'm saying, she was strictly business. I was like, whatever, you still fine. So she left
Fact.
maybe 6 months later.
I don't remember
3
the
months.
time frame.
I know it was long to be apart from me, but she eventually, they moved her to my location.
We got two different reactions to this stuff he's saying.
Yeah, it's
Like,
love here and you hate it. But she eventually came to my location, and I was trying to, you know what I'm saying, get with her, and you know what I'm saying, she felt like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, I was too friendly or whatever, but she wasn't really paying me no mind, and
Friendly is extra friendly.
I wasn't dating nobody at work. I would have friends bring me lunch from time to time. You gotta
oh.
Oh,
eat. You feel me?
no.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Don't. I'm sorry.
I'm single. I would have different friends, like Mondays, you know what I'm saying? It might have been, I ain't gonna name no names, but I would have different people like bring me lunch because I gotta eat. And she kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying, I might have had relationships with all of them. People can eat together.
That's a valid actual thought.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Man.
He just got different people bringing him lunch different days.
But the fact that it is. Anyway,
But why
go
do
ahead.
they have to bring it to the job though?
Because I asked them to.
Why come they couldn't give it to you before?
But why you get to get a special request fulfilled?
I mean, special relationships, but it's like, it's mutual.
Well, what was special about it?
Oh, you did the same thing for them?
I mean, come on, dog.
I'm just saying, I know you permanent.
What was special about it?
The point is, she was just like, you got a few too many friends. I'm not finna be one of them.
Oh.
So that, I ain't gonna lie, that made me want her more.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of used to not really getting, saying what I wanted, but it wasn't too hard. I wasn't used to like no's. Used to a little challenge, but she was like, nah, I'm good. That made me kind of want her more.
Facts.
I ended up leaving that, and we went heavier into the nightclub business and stuff like that. And one day she reached out to me and was just like, yo, I think, she was like checking in, or I might have reached out to her. I think she reached out to me. I was like, we just checking in. She's like, how things going? I was like, everything's going okay. How things going there? She's like, we're good. Everybody misses you. I'm like, yeah, that blah, blah, blah. Y'all should come out. She was like, yeah, we should get together sometime. So I was like, yeah, y'all should all come to the club. I'll get y'all a table and a bottle. She was like, no, I'm talking about me and you.
Ooh.
I said, ooh. Let's go. So I ain't respond. This is via text. So I my heart was racing, but I didn't want to come off too thirsty. That text message back cue was, so I was just like, I bet.
Yeah.
And just left it at that.
That's
you feel
right.
me? Just
because
left it at
anything
that.
else, she'll feel the thirst.
No, yeah.
Like, you had to, you did good, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
You did good.
For sure.
I know that slow response, when you get too excited, it's just like, delete that. Nope.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
Right.
Let her know I'm just as calm and cool as she is.
Facts.
All right, bet. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to realize, like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm the catch here. Okay.
Okay.
What is happening?
It's a little jokey joke for the people. It's a little jokey joke. It was a joke.
Bro.
Everybody knows it's a joke.
But it was false. It was false, though.
Yeah, I know. It was a joke.
No, not just it was a joke, but it was false. Like, she was
payback from the little hit and I took up for you. So the point is, we start communicating. We start, dating. She had finally came to the club. It was looking so good. The club was packed that night. We threw one of the biggest parties ever. And I remember one of the managers that I was really had a good, relationship with. She was jealous. And it was, you couldn't even get to the bar. I couldn't even tell the bartender like what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I sent one of the managers who worked for us. Like, I was like, hey, go get these drinks. She brought the drinks back and saw me turn and hand them to Tracy and her girls. She was hot. Later that night, she was like, don't you ever ask me to get you drinks for you to give to some other girl. I get you drinks because I thought you was me. She was hot.
Wow.
Tracy didn't even know I caught some heat that night, boy. Ooh. But I'm just like, yo, like, I got one chance to impress you. So if you want drinks, like, you know what I'm saying, we're going to make it happen. So anyway, we started dating. We started kicking it.
So you broke up with somebody else's feelings by having her deliver her feelings to the person that you wanted to invest in, basically.
Oh, that's deep. You can say it like that.
That was savage.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't trying to.
Like, it ain't too many, like that. That's when you for real.
Yeah, but I knew I
collateral
needed,
damage.
I wanted, and I think I've always been there. It's like ever since she came in my life, I was just kind of on. I want to give her whatever she wants.
Facts.
And so if hunger gonna be pissed, cool. I ain't really trying to build a family with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if she wants some drinks, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to get her what she wants. And I just kind of live by that creed. And so
that's dope.
Nice.
That's dope.
So we did that.
Nice.
She did that.
Hey, I don't know how much time y'all designated to this episode, but that type of energy gonna make us go longer. Like, that stuff get me hype right there. Okay. I'm looking at us. I got a little time limit, but I'm like,
that's
okay.
That's
how it started.
That's how we started. Then we started dating exclusively. And I knew I've always had a healthy fear of my girl. I was like, you know what? Like, I need to do right by her. Because she had such a pure heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, let me be exclusive. Yeah. And I remember one time I was at your apartment and I found a knife under your pillow. That's when I knew she was crazy. I'm talking about butcher knife, bro.
Not crazy.
Tracy?
No.
What would you call it?
I didn't want anybody sneaking up on me. Okay? That's right.
I have one too under my pillow.
That's right.
But why under your pillow? You think they're going to sneak up on you while you're sleeping?
Well, just in case, you have to have it nearby. You can't be like trying to get up and go to the closet or like, no, you can't do that. You have to have it ready.
Well, like this with my hand, I just couldn't imagine just grabbing my pillow. You know, you have to flip the pillow over when you sweat it on one half, and then you go and you slice your hand.
Wait, what? When you sweat it on one half? What are these half nasty pillows? Your guest room ain't got nothing, right?
I swear,
I'm just asking because I've slept on the most comfortable bed I've probably felt in my life. And I can't believe it's in the guest room. Like when I slept on this bed, I was like, you know what? This is the best. Well, what are y'all sleeping on? Like, if I'm sleeping on a bed like this, if this is the bed for me, what in the world are you got? Like, you ever look at Tracy and Jeremy both downstairs? One time he's like, I just gotta jump on it real quick. Like, I just gotta feel it. Like, let me put my knee on the edge. Like, what are they sleeping on? They are sleeping on living water. Like, you have to really be relaxed on something that touches everything. Like, y'all, that bed upstairs.
We want our guests to be comfortable.
That is right.
Those sheets are soft too.
No, seriously, they hit different.
In the other guest bedroom, soft.
It's crazy.
I be ripping my
whole
body against it.
Gracias. Muchas. Mucho. Like, so much. Yeah. But sweating on one side of the pillow and switching it is weird. And
I'm naturally a hot.
You might need a cool pillow. You got a cool pillow? Like a.
You did.
Oh, she handling it.
Nice. I mean, my body runs hot too, though.
Right.
But I do get hot, this is why I have to have cool sheets as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like temperature kind of like control.
I think I'm one of the coolest cats you'll ever meet, but my body, like that I be hot all the time. Ooh. It's so weird.
It's like the guy who's on fire in Fantastic Four.
The Human Torch.
Yeah, but you know what? That is me too. So maybe it's a lineage thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you sweat on your pillows and switch them halfway through the night?
I didn't say I did that. But
okay. Well,
anyway, I just flipped the pillow, but I couldn't imagine flipping it and then put my hand there and then slicing my finger on the knife. So that's when I knew she was crazy.
Knife has okay, so my knife has a shield over it.
Okay, see, that's different. You on some just in case. She on some Friday the 13th. I'm talking about butcher knife. I'm talking about like I can carve some meat off the deer or I can slice a watermelon. And I remember seeing like, boo, what is this? And she was like, just in case. That's when I was like, I'm never going to cross you.
Facts.
I mean,
so there was a time when I couldn't afford something, that closed.
Bang, bang?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that.
Yeah, couldn't, no.
Oh.
Mm-mm. So you have to use what you have. Isn't that right?
And even if that still may be in a separate location.
Exactly.
And you still need something else handy.
When I saw that,
case.
Oh, well.
That's when I knew I'm not going to be playing with her.
Ooh.
Nope.
Ain't no surprise. Don't surprise me. Guess what, boo? It's your birthday. I ain't what's going on here. I can't feel my abs. I can't feel the Tupperware on top of the abs. I can't feel anything at this point. Like, what's happening? Like, listen to me.
And she don't do surprises.
Oh.
Fun fact about the Anderson home. I have dreams of being able to say, "Hey, girl, when you get off work, I'm picking." Oh, you don't work for nobody no more. Praise God.
Oh,
but I had dreams. But back in the day, I had dreams of saying, the car's gonna pick you up at 3. We going somewhere. And we going straight to the airport. And I'm like, man, bump it. We gonna stay at the best place. What about clothes? We go shopping.
Yep.
Not possible. That sounded dope, right?
It sounded amazing.
Sounded hella romantic.
Like, that's like one of my dopest goals that I've wanted to do.
No, I don't.
She need to plan.
It's tough. We need to plan. We need to know what we gotta wear. We need to know what our hair needs to be like. We need to know what skin products we need to bring. We need to know how long we're gonna be gone. We need to know how long to pack.
Right.
And it's like
that just stressed me out.
So
like,
you get it?
It's a lot because we have to deal with a lot more than just grabbing some clothes and throwing them in a suitcase. Like, we have to plan for a lot more.
Yeah, and she need buku time to plan.
All right. So is it possible to have a to-go bag? Like, can we get all those products in one so that if I ever want to surprise y'all, you can teach me what bag is we can double up on products. Like,
it depends on
but
where
we're going to have to have one to go so that, like, that don't even help.
Okay, if you have a to-go bag for the Caribbean, if you have a to-go bag for Alaska, if you have a to-go bag for Africa, you have to know where you're going.
Yeah.
You do.
But that's one thing I learned in my marriage. It's not about...
Is there a to-go bag for the last days? Never mind. Just go. At this point, just go to hell. Like, I don't know what we need everything.
But I learned, like, I gotta make sure that I like whatever she needs. Like, that's not her thing.
Yeah.
So it might look good in movies, and I think that's where people go wrong in marriage.
Yeah.
They kind of on what it looks like. That looks good. That's like on some Hallmark stuff. We gotta know. All right, that's not really real life though.
That's not the person I'm dealing with.
Yeah. So as dope as that looks, That might not be, you know what I'm saying, what my wife is on.
Yeah.
So I gotta know what she likes.
Yeah.
I gotta know what gets her going, what she's like, okay, I'm good with that, and being at peace with that.
Ooh.
And so we had to learn to figure that out, because I used to get in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Be like, why would you let me do this for you? And I realized, you know, let me do for you. That's almost like she going to a steakhouse and she want a steak, but I'm the chef, like, but I got this salmon that's fire. It got a honey glaze on it. But she like, but I want a ribeye.
Yeah,
How dope does that sound?
I'm gonna need you to talk to Charlie on this one. Because we have this, right now, we are going through this. Yes. He's like, I just need to surprise you. I booked this place. I'm not gonna tell you where. We show up, okay, all the rest, everything is not taken care of, because I'm usually the ones that take care of everything. And so we get there and I'm like,
Charlie, if you do that, my boy, you better be on point.
But listen. In defense of my brother I ain't never met, I just think that his first shout out shouldn't be. I just don't think that Charlie's first shout out should be in council.
Okay.
Like how dope is Charlie, real quick? Why don't you just tell everybody how dope he is? Because
the fact that he want to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't comfortable seeing Charlie go through this. Like, Charlie, I ain't met you, but
he's highlighting this right now.
Like, little head. You think little head ain't gonna do
I
it?
never said your head was little, by the way. But we're gonna move on. Charlie is a phenomenal person.
There we go.
already know.
He been around for 7 strong years.
There we go.
Yes.
Let's go, Charlie.
And the fact that he wants to do that stuff and surprise you.
He wants to. And it's like,
amazing.
it's so sweet, because, you know, he like loves to surprise me. But it just be sometimes where I'm like, look, Charlie, I have certain things that I need to wear to certain places.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't show up and not be dressed for the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm like, okay, hair, I need to know if my hair gonna get, if it's humidity, if it's not, like what we dealing with. Then when we get there, it's like, oh, well, I need to check this and check that, because he didn't have time to do it. But if I had known where we're going, I could have helped. He's like, well, I didn't want you to help. All right, well, then figure it out. But, you know, sometimes it's tough. But he does have the best intentions. He's not doing anything maliciously. I just personally, like, need to either relax and let him do it and then figure it out, or figure out a way to communicate. There are certain types of surprises that I would appreciate more than others. Like, if he surprised me with, like, a nice, cool little outfit and did it, okay, cool, because we could return it if I don't like it.
Right.
But if you surprise me with somewhere I can't just turn around and go home to.
You can't return the flight in the hotel.
We can't return the flight. And we booked for a week.
You know a situation I'm thinking of? Go ahead and see what you're going to say.
What was you going to say?
The flowers.
Wait, you telling me Captain Planet got the plants wrong? Captain Planet Captain Planet didn't do the plants?
This is back when she was Dr. Taz's office. You don't remember that? Mm-mm. Oh, I do. let me refresh your memory.
Talk to us, Jay.
So, you know, I try to be a nice husband.
Yeah.
I feel like you ain't gonna find another lover like me. You know what I'm saying?
I heard the tone in my head.
So,
what's up?
So I was it was a random joint. You know what I'm saying? Like let me tell you something. I ain't tripping on Valentine's Day. You ain't gonna force me. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna show her love whenever. You ain't gonna just make me do that.
And the All-Star game comes on the same day, in the same weekend, so I need you to be available on the 10th.
Right, so I'm finna do all of that.
For sure. I need that weekend, please.
Yeah, that was left, but I got you.
Okay, got
so
you.
I sent her a big old stupid bouquet, a very expensive bouquet of flowers to her job. This is years ago. She was kind of home. She didn't have to work, but she kind of wanted to get that more active. So she was working for Dr. Taz, a local like celebrity doctor, NBA players, people flying in from all over to go and see her. So she was like managing her office and doing some work there to get out the house, making some extra income. She had her thing going on, right? Major thing. All these doctors and nurses, like she just scheduled everything. Right. So I sent a big old stupid bouquet of flowers to her job. And boy, she came home, it was hot. Really? Hot as fish grease. She wasn't mad, but I was like, boo, you get the flowers, boo, you get the flowers. She's like, yeah, I got them. I was like, what's wrong? She was just like, you don't know me. And Crystal, my heart dropped. I'm like, yo. She's like, for one, you already know I'm not on spending all that bread like that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't on that. She like, I'd rather you went and picked some fresh flowers and did like the little bouquet, you know what I'm saying, for a fraction of it, and it would have been more thoughtful. Now, I thought I was being thoughtful by sending you random flowers, but it's levels to it. There's some young boys out here. I need y'all to hear me. It's levels to it. So we going through this whole thing.
I'm a young boy.
And then
I just realized just now that this don't feel good. This don't feel good at all. I'm learning way too much, and I should have one episode. Like this. Okay, you can continue.
But it goes deeper. And then she was like, and all day long, people was coming to my office. Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is amazing. Your husband's so awesome. Is it your birthday? Is it your anniversary? She was like, I was like, boo, that's a good thing. She's like, you don't know me. So what you mean? She's like, I don't like all that attention. I felt so dodo. She was like, I know you meant well, and I appreciate it, and it was nice, and I love you for it, but I just wish you loved me enough to know me. And I was just like, man, she's like, I don't like you spending all this bread like that. Like, it could be another way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want all these people coming to my office. She's like, I wouldn't even able to get no work done. Like, she's running out. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, you got all these celebs coming in. They be coming in with code names and stuff. Yeah. It's a lot. And she's like, and I got to deal with nurses, nurse practitioners. Oh, this is cute. She's like, man, go do your, you know what I'm saying? So, so I realized, but again, that's like us knowing each other. Do you remember that now? I felt so dodo.
Tracy, you was real mad?
I wasn't mad.
She wasn't mad.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad, and then I knew it wasn't. It wasn't malicious.
Yeah. So I probably should have said that. She wasn't mad. How dare you bring me flowers?
Were you disappointed? Like, what was your emotion though from that?
I think I was more so. It was more so what he said. For one, I really do not like spending money. Like, I do not. It's going to be on something good or on somebody else. For one. And then,
that's why we're so blessed. She'll spend on somebody else before she's spending herself all day.
Yeah. Right. And then for two,
Yo, Shaq in the background breaking stuff. And Jeremy almost got fixed for a second. And
take that back leg.
Jeremy, okay, y'all. Sorry, Tracy. We gonna get back to you. It's just very ironic that it happened right on the part where he said, "I don't like spending money." Some breaks. Yo, crib. I don't like spending money on stuff unless it's really worth it. Break. Oh, sounds like a check to me. Like wait a second. Like, okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. We just had to laugh because I didn't want that energy to muster up just in case. So that's all right, cool. So, Tracy, your spending habit, yeah.
But she'll spend it on somebody else in a heartbeat.
Facts.
So I have to spend it on her. She'll never go into the Louis store and say, I'm going to give me a bag. So I'm going to have to do that. Yeah. Because she won't do it.
I love it.
She won't.
I love it.
So I'll spoil you.
She had a birthday recently, huh?
Yeah.
You do good work, Jeremy.
Look, man.
I don't know Tracy's birthday by heart, but I know around now. Yeah. I know around now. You know what? Her birthday was monumental for everybody that week. Yeah. Listen. I don't look at myself as no errand boy, but I ain't never been so happy to possibly catch no flight.
Oh my goodness.
Across the country for somebody in my life.
Okay.
I said Jeremy does things.
Okay, so let me shout you out real quick and give you your flowers.
Oh, that wasn't for me. But I
need to. Just that I need these people to know, like, it's people out here that's really, really real like that. Mm-hmm. So it was a Louis bag I wanted to get Tracy for her birthday. Mm-hmm. Couldn't find it anywhere. Oof. And every Louis store I would call, like some of the main like flagship stores like New York and like, you know what I'm saying, like on Fifth Ave, like all the main stores was like, oh, it's so hard to get that one. It's on back order. It's the most popular. I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. Y'all making me want it more. Right. So they would look in their system and would say, hey, it's one in these 3 places. And so I tried Houston. By the time my man got there, somebody had just bought it. Then I tried the Bay Area, San Francisco, by the time somebody, and I'm trying to do this a secret. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time they got there, after waiting in line for 3 hours, somebody had just bought it. Then my boy in New York went there on Fifth Ave, like the main store. Yep. It's gone there.
Miami went too, right?
And then Miami finally came through. Okay. But you so real. Mike was like, say, dog, let me know where it's at. I know you can't fly because you speaking. I'll book a flight right now and get it and fly to Atlanta. I said,
yes.
That's different. That's next level.
It's y'all. Like, it's y'all. Like, it's certain people where I don't think about how trill that is until he says it back to me. But there's certain people that just like, I need you to get something done for me. And when Jeremy says something, all of a sudden that flight don't sound like it's that far.
Yeah.
But peep game to see the depths of his heart. I wasn't even on. Can you get it? I just know Mike knows somebody in every major city.
Yeah, he just wanted me to check my.
And I know that the people he know rock with is solid. So whether it's Chicago, wherever, I know he knows somebody that's solid. So I know he knows somebody that could be like, go and spend however much and get it back. So I'm like, yo, who you know solid in these cities? He's like, well, I could hit this person, that person. But then it was like the time frame, when the store gonna close. He's like, you know what? All right, man, I'll book a flight. And I said, ooh. So yeah, shout out to you.
Bro.
He said about to book a flight. I told Tracy that too.
Bro, I just wanted her to get what, bro, you were so passionate about that. It was easy to jump aboard. I was just like, I ain't seen the picture or nothing. All I know is that it meant something.
Yeah.
And it was hard to find. And I was just like, if it's that hard to find, we got to go ASAP.
All right, so let me give a principle.
Yeah.
Let me give a principle so it's not just a story.
Yeah.
If I had just hit you casually, maybe not, maybe. But the fact that you saw I did my research, I knew exactly what cities and what states it was in, which stores, how many they had left. You was like, yo, let me do the best I can do. It's like if somebody on the side of the road, if you see them pushing their car, guess what we finna do? We finna get out and help you. But if you just sitting on the hood, bro, I'm probably not. Because I don't know if you got the same knife she had under her pillow in the glove compartment. But if I see you struggling with it, I'm gonna help you. And so that's a little sidebar, motivational message for somebody out here. You wondering, how come people ain't helping me? What you doing for yourself? And when people see the work and the effort and the energy and the drive that you have that you putting in, that makes them want to go to that extra mile to help you.
And also, if I'm gonna add on to that, I knew that I didn't have much time off. So if this was gonna get done and I was gonna be a part of it, I had to move now.
Right.
And even though it may be more work or less rest for me going into my next trip, this was the only way that I knew I could be a part and actually make sure it got done was for me to take the flight ASAP, go straight off a trip. It's all good. I'm going out there. We're gonna get it done, and we'll figure out the rest later. But I had to act in this moment. So also going next level with y'all, there are some actions that y'all been stalling on that y'all gonna forfeit if y'all don't act as soon as you called to do it. You can't push that off till tomorrow. You can't push that off till next week. It's some stuff you gotta knock out right now. So that energy. You feel me?
Well, we got her. We found my man Chris. He had a city council meeting or something. He made major moves.
Dope.
But put some things off. I went to the store. It was about 45 people in line.
Really?
But he talked to them and was like, bro, I got my car right here. I know exactly what bag it is. Mr. Anderson has already been on the phone with the manager, and they let my man in and he got the bag.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And then overnighted it in time.
I love it.
You know, so that was one of the gifts.
I love it.
But appreciate everybody. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying, in the Bay, and in Memphis, and where else? All the other stores we tried to go to.
Dope.
But anyway, but why?
Yeah.
Why would I go to that extent to get her? She don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
I seen them put that epidural on her back when we had Jackson. I said like I was walking around here with a big old belly. You know what I'm saying? But in the spirit, we was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But like when I saw that pain you went through, I was like, man, I wish somebody would tell me what she can or can't have. You feel me? Like I remember all the tears, all the frustration, you know, us losing other babies, the depression, the anxiety, you know what I'm saying? Like the counseling, like all of that is what's moved me now to say, man, I want to get you whatever you want, whatever you need. And you don't ask for much either.
Yeah.
Because there's some wives that be wanting to buy up everything. I'm like, look, man.
And God bless them too.
Yeah, and I ain't tripping.
If that works, then that's it.
If I smell or think you want something,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, then I'm going to go for it and get it. But anyway, what else y'all got for us? That's just a little, I don't know how we even got on that.
So basically,
this is the ADD podcast.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Next level attention.
We brought it back though.
Facts. Yeah. But basically, y'all was just taking us through like y'all whole journey, like coming from, and I actually appreciate where we've gone, because a lot of our listeners out there, our next levelers, they don't even know how far back you went to even talk about to where you are now. Mm-hmm. Chris, did you have a specific question? Because I have something else I want to ask, but
no,
I want to give
ahead. In the past, I'm gonna go in the future once we get there.
Okay. So, moving on to further along in the process, once y'all came, or maybe I should let y'all come into there. When did you know that y'all wanted to go hard together for next level? Like, when did y'all want to come together to make this vision? Like, I don't know when you had the vision or when it came to you that this is one that you wanted to do forever, but when did y'all become a team and decide that this is something y'all was gonna partner up and do?
I think it evolved.
Okay.
And I think that's with every person's dream or aspiration. I mean, you may start off somewhere, but it will eventually evolve into something bigger. I mean, if it doesn't, then it definitely should. But I mean, it evolved from, him traveling and speaking, and starting off, speaking in churches, and then kind of doing the motivational, in the schools, and then going full time into the schools. And then, as we evolved, our team evolved, dreams evolved, everything, aspirations with what we want to do, what we want to achieve. I think it all evolved, but I think we both have been entrepreneurs probably for the last probably 9 years. Wow. Well, no, 8 years. Because it was right when Jewel was born, so 8 years. Wow. 8 years, yeah.
Yeah, but and it kind of, like she said, it evolved. We just kind of grew with it, you know what I'm saying? And it started off in just different levels and different layers, and we kind of walked hand in hand. That's why I be telling folk, like, yo, like when I do articles or like news stations or, Chicago, like Times or whatever, like, different articles come out, I'm like, yo, you got to write the story of what we built.
Yeah.
Just because I'm the one that's on stage speaking, so I might be the face of some of the companies. She the one behind the scenes building this thing up. You know what I'm saying? And helping to create it and doing all the legal stuff, like all the stuff behind the scenes. Yeah. If not, it's almost like having a LeBron James, a Steph Curry, but you ain't got no front office. You ain't got no marketing team. You ain't got no head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, you got a whole bunch of talent.
So how did the roles kind of evolve? Were you always kind of good at the legal and the financials and all that other stuff?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or is that something that you just kind of was like, let me take this, you worry about this? Like, how did that evolve?
No, that was always my role. I think even when we met, he just wasn't necessarily, that was just not his gift. That was always my gift.
I was the worst with money. I was spending money, blowing money. I was doing some dumb stuff. She started paying bills. I ain't paid a bill in years.
At least 14 or 15 years.
Since you came into my life. How you be doing? You be mailing checks or paying online or what?
No.
Don't worry about it. She just make sure the bread keep coming in, and I'll take care of everything.
Okay.
That's dope.
But yeah, it's always been that. And here's my thing though, because I'm realizing like, yo, you got good credit. You obviously know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I killed mine, so like, I'm just gonna, tell me what you want me to do. Yeah. That's really how I go to the next level in life. There be folk out here on some pride stuff.
Gotta admit like, you don't know.
You got all the answers?
Yeah.
No.
That's gonna always stop people from growing. It's like they got a little talent, they got a little insight, but they too prideful to go to someone that's the next step above, or 2-3 steps, or 10 steps above. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna say to anybody out here that's in any industry or any career field, whether it's music, whether it's whatever field of industry you in, if you don't have 2 or 3 people that is ahead of you or has excelled and you can't touch bases with them, then something's wrong. Then you want some prideful stuff.
Yeah.
And so I knew that was her gift. And I was like, yo, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
So Tracy, this question's for you. When did it switch for you before when you felt like y'all could go to the next level in terms of y'all entrepreneurship, to the moment when you felt like, yo, we living in our purpose? Like, I know we hear Jeremy talk about that. I know he lets everybody know, like, yo, I feel this God has shown me. For you, as somebody who is his right hand, or as he even explained so eloquently, his neck. He's like, if he's the head, you the neck, you make sure everything is stabilized and go together. Mm-hmm. When did you go from like, you know what, I'm rocking with you either way, and then to the point to like, yo, we doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing? Like, when was that for you?
I mean, that's probably here recently, I would say. Even out of all of those 8-9 years, how long it's been, like, it took me a minute to realize, like, okay, like, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like my gift, and for me to recognize that because I didn't necessarily, this isn't something you just don't wake up and say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Like people don't realize like you are never off. Like you are working all the time. Like they just don't understand. They look because of social media and they're like, okay, this is easy, but they don't understand the behind the scenes or that if I'm up at 10 or 11 o'clock sending emails or doing an invoice or checking something, like those are the things that, you know, people don't necessarily see or necessarily understand. But I think that is just something that I have just now, you know, really been okay with. Like he told you, like a few, I don't remember how long ago, but I had a few jobs because I was thinking like, you know what? You gotta do let me just make sure that this is what, you know, and let me go all in with it. Like I will go and get a job in a heartbeat, you know, and I did.
I used to feel like it was so dodo. I'm like, really, honey? You finna drive across town in this traffic and work for somebody else 8 hours a day and have to stress you out.
It was more than 8
have to stress you out dealing with this dumb stuff and you ain't got to? I was just like, all right.
So I have another question. How do you separate the work in your dating? Like when you guys are, because you guys still, like even when you're married, you still have to like go on dates, right? So like, how do you separate like that from like not talking about work when you're out on a date or not like bringing the same stuff that goes on in the house to when you guys are away from the house and spending time together? Like how do you...
Or is that something that you
we don't really. I think because we are at a point now where we actually like each other. You know,
I've been like you. I mean, you was getting on my nerves a lot, but
Burks and all.
You understand that our relationship has evolved over the years, basically.
Like the pandemic was Gucci.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, pandemic was Gucci. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna come back to that. I got a pandemic question because y'all know that's rare. Like first of all, you know that's 1% of that's 1 percentile of the experiences of pandemic.
Oh, we love the pandemic.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, not to what it did to the world.
Of course.
As for our house.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved being able to be home. I ain't got to travel. I think I probably had more speaking engagements since it was virtual than me driving 40 minutes to the airport, going through security, getting on a plane, flying there and landing, getting picked up, brought to the gig, speak, take pictures, drive back to the airport, go through security again, fly back, go through the thing, get picked up, brought back home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes it will take me 5, 6, 7 hours of travel for a 45-minute hour speech.
Yeah.
But now I can go downstairs and speak from the waist up and have on basketball shorts.
Bro, I love being over at the crib and watching Jeremy do work with his dressed up from the top up.
And I ain't got to leave the family.
Yeah.
Like we realized like, yo, it feels good.
Yeah.
They thought I was taxing before. They finna pay premium prices now.
Yeah.
Because I ain't trying to leave the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we are blessed to have.
Yeah. This is probably the first year out of...
You about to say something extreme. I already know.
I was going to say out of all of our years that we have ever seen each other this much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And both of y'all been okay with that?
Yeah.
That's so dope because you know that a lot of issues been coming out of too much time from couples been together.
Oh, yeah.
Like on paper, it sounds like, yes, I would love all that extra time, but everybody can't deal with that. Like, and that's been overwhelming for a lot of people. I would say even majority of people. Like it's been overwhelming. So talk about that. Why didn't y'all putting y'all lives together going into the pandemic? I know we got to close soon too, but I just was wondering, like, why didn't that overwhelm y'all? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm also going to say like they kind of have their wheels in motion. For a lot of people during the pandemic that did not get along, did not like succeed, failed, it's because a lot of things were already like on its way out.
Gotcha.
And it was already rocky financially. It was already rocky, you know, job-wise. Like, all types of communication wise. And if you can't communicate already and you're forced to be next to somebody and y'all really can't communicate, it just further brings to the surface, again, issues that have been underlying.
That's real.
So during the pandemic, it pushed everything up to the surface. They have been working on it already. So during the pandemic, they were thriving because they already did their work.
Got you.
But I'm going to let y'all speak for yourselves.
She did it.
All
That
right.
was good. It was easy for us.
I like
because we was already in the good and a healthy space.
Okay.
So we enjoyed the time we had together, you know what I'm saying, as a family. And I mean, we blessed. Other people, you know, might not have been in, you know, the position we in. You know, this wasn't a bad place to be quarantined in. You know what I'm saying? And so we just, I don't know, it just worked. And I think because I traveled so much to be home so often, you know what I'm saying, it was, you know, it was special.
Gotcha.
And so, but to answer the other question, we do got to take time to date. Because I ain't gonna lie, like we put our heads down and work.
Yeah.
There's sometimes I come up to the room after putting the kids down. She in the bed with her MacBook open, like still working. I'm like, boo, it's 9, it's 10, like kill it. Like I get it, but like let's just take a break. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm like, so people don't see that.
Yeah.
They see the trip, they see the vacation, they see the house, but they don't see the high level that you have to work at. You know what I'm saying? And we dealt with some serious trust issues too. Not with each other. We ain't never had that with each other, but for other people. Just trusting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, will they take the same effort and energy, the same focus? That just drive me crazy, man. People want to get close. People want to be a part of the team. But it's just that trust issue. So we just so used to just making sure everything is right. Because we know because it's us to spend the bread. It's us that can, you know what I'm saying? It's me that got to do it again. It's me that got to travel. Like, you know, it's the brand. And so we're real intentional about really making sure we protect what we built. You know what I'm saying?
And then we were also friends too. So
And that's
that part.
Can we in on that how important friendship is in a relationship, like a marriage?
Yeah.
Because that's what outlasts everything else, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, when did you guys become friends? Like, were you always friends?
I knew she was. I'm about to put you out there,
That's
bro.
weird. Okay. You should, like, tell us.
There's something though.
Okay.
I knew she was down for your boy. She was my friend. Remember when we was struggling back in the day? You know what I'm saying? And we came across them checks. We was trying to get them checks cashed.
Hey, tell us, dog. Tell us, bro. Tell us.
No, we're not.
We want to know. The next levelers want to know, dog.
We're not going to go there, but I will just say this. I knew my girl was down for the cause in every aspect. Even when we was running clubs, when she came on board, she was the one at the front door collecting the money. She been down. You know what I'm saying? We have some little babes. I'm supposed to be in VIP. She's like, $100, please. My name should be on the list. It's not. I remember I used to be real interested.
Ooh, I would have loved to see that.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
I can see that. I can see that right
Get
now.
out. It's not on this list.
what?
Okay, boo-boo?
Tracy changeth not. Okay, like, hey, listen to me. Like,
I have been, what do you call it? Consistent.
consistent for sure. I love it. Like, for sure. Like, that's dope, man.
We've had some we've had some fun times, but I think the friendship has always been there. You know what I'm saying? We've some things we're interested in and we don't. But it's like when you love somebody, you want to be a part of their world.
Yeah.
Like I would have never, ever watched Hallmark. But I know if she liking Hallmark around the Christmas time, then you know what I'm saying? Like HGTV.
Yeah.
Like I found myself loving Love It Unlisted and Flip or Flop. You know what I'm saying? They're like all the shows because that stuff she was into.
Yeah.
HSN. Oh man. Yeah, I'd be telling her, boo, kill the QVC. Like you about to run it up. Something coming to the house every day.
Oh my God.
Amazon like, what up, Jeremy? I'm like, what up, driver? You know what I'm saying?
What up, driver?
You know what I'm saying? Like, every day. But I think that friendship part is good. You got to date. And we got to do better at that. We don't, I told her like, yo, let's start doing a date night like once a week. You know what I'm saying? We got a support group. We got a community. Like, let's just get out, get dressed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get me some more in the little, you know what I'm saying? My little Miami shirts. You know what I'm saying? And
With no button.
I'm a button it up.
With no button.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a button it up. I might unbutton the first 2 or 3, but I'm with you.
He don't like buttons, Tracy? He don't like
Whatever. I don't get dressed up often.
That's why you be doing them push-ups.
Oh, Jay.
I'm just trying to hold on to what I have.
Is that
bro.
what it is?
I'm trying to hold on to what I have.
I ain't even realized it.
I ain't trying to be slothful out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never have to rub my belly.
Ooh.
You feel me? And if you do, anyway, we about to go left with it.
Shout out to all the special people out there that still got they Tupperware dishes, okay? Because everybody ain't able, okay? Jeremy just condemned everybody with a cooler. I just want to let y'all know.
Especially during
Hey, I just want to let you know, a 6-pack can only go in small spaces. Like, sometimes you need a keg. Like, I'm just saying, just, shout out to all the people out there that got appreciation for the keg. And, yeah,
crazy,
appreciate it.
Yeah, but no, the friendship, the dating is key. I did say we're going to do that more often. I did say we're going to take a vacation once a quarter, because we do a lot.
Yep.
People don't know, you know what I'm saying? I got the Speakers Academy where I'm training other speakers, you know what I'm saying, other people how to be successful motivational speakers and go out here and make money, you know what I'm saying? And we got hundreds of people in our community that's booming right now.
For sure.
$8,000, $10,000, $15,000 gigs they getting. And when they got with us, they couldn't even get past 1,500. Like we got people, you know, in our Speakers Academy. So we started that company. Then we got the trucking company. Then we got the clothing line. You know what I'm saying? We've got the regular speaking. We got curriculums in schools. You know what I'm saying? Then we got the nonprofit here and in South Africa.
That's amazing.
So that's a lot. And so I'm like, yo, we do a lot, we give a lot, but we got to make sure we take care of ourselves. So it's time for a marriage tune up too. So we need to get back with Shannon and Shirley. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure we keep that thing sharp. And just make sure we keep taking care of each other and we figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I love that.
It's been a journey, but I feel like we just get started though. That's the crazy thing.
That's what's so dope.
So it's like sometimes you got to slow down to move forward.
Yeah.
So I think we in the season now, like, you know the conversations we've been having. We're going to put a few more pieces in place, tighten up a few things, have it even more efficient so we can scale, and then we can diversify. We talk about healthcare, home healthcare businesses. We're talking about going heavy into real estate. It's a lot of different things. But we want to be faithful over the few. And God's blessed us. Yeah. Well, she know the goals we have. She got stupid goals. Her expectations of God is even bigger than mine.
I love it.
She like, the way our relationship is set up, he finna come through. I'm like, bet, keep praying.
Say less.
But that's it. You know what I'm saying? And we figuring this thing out. Yeah. I think the people enjoy having you on, boo.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
We definitely did. I just want to tell y'all personally, like, I know how in tune you guys are, but I also know how much our relationship with God means to y'all. And Jeremy speaks a lot of times on how much he was already praying and talking to God about this podcast and just bringing people on the podcast. Shout out to the homie Shaq. And but he always talks about how much y'all was in tune in terms of being together in this decision, and the fact that he said when he brought our names to you and the support that you had behind that, it means a lot, because I know that you say what you mean and you mean what you say. So knowing that we got your blessing behind that, it just means a lot. And I'm proud to be rocking with y'all on this Next Level Living podcast too.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
I do not be using that word.
Facts.
Like, for real. Yeah.
But I'm glad, and we're glad to do this journey with you guys, both of you. And we appreciate you.
Yeah, we about to go up. Get ready. We just get started.
Let's
Where we at?
Come on with it.
Turn me up.
Turn
Little
me
heads
up.
matter. What's up?
I have a little head.
You know what? You might have a little head, but you got a big heart, big dog.
What's up, dog? Talk to him.
There you go.
Oh, I just showed it.
Put that.
I'm on another level. 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 I'm on another level.